So hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today I want to take a quick look at the new primary burst rifle, the Hema. This is basically a better version of the Parasist. It does viral damage instead of toxin damage, and it has a unique mechanic where it will steal a little bit of health from you every time you reload it, but in return, every time you hit a headshot, it will heal you. So the Hema does 45 raw viral damage, it has 7.5% critical chance, 200% critical multiplier, and 25% status chance, so you definitely want to go for a status build here. Now since this is a burst rifle, it will fire 3 shots before you apply multi-shot every time you press the fire button, and you can fire about 6 rounds every second. It has 60 rounds in the magazine and a 2-second reload time. Now one thing I find really weird about this weapon is that it's supposed to reward good accuracy because it gives you health back on headshots, but it's not very accurate. As you can see over here, even without heavy caliber, the bursts kind of fly all over the place, so while there will be a couple of rounds that will hit the target, if you're aiming for the enemy's head, a lot of the rounds will just miss. Now if you want to get your hands on the Hema, you will first have to research it in the infested lab in your dojo. But if you're not in a clan where the majority of players are active, this is probably not going to happen, because the mutagen sample requirement is 500 per one player. So even if you're in the smallest clan, which is only 10 people, you will still need 5,000 of them. Now the Hema comes with 1 V polarity as standard, and I've added 3 more V, so it's a 3 Forma build. And the mods I'm using are Serration for more damage, Split Chamber for multi-shot, Heavy Caliber, because as I've said already, even without Heavy Caliber, the accuracy isn't that great, so I'm just going for body shots, and Heavy Caliber just adds a lot more damage. Then to add a little bit of fire rate, because without it the weapon can feel a little bit slow, I'm using Shred, which also adds some punch through on top of that. Then I'm using Fast Hands to tone down the reload time a little bit to 1.5 seconds, and this is a utility slot, so you can put in whatever you want. If you want more damage, you can put in a damage mod. If you want more fire rate, you can put in something like Speed Trigger or even Vial Acceleration. And finally, on the first setup, I'm running High Voltage and Malignant Force for corrosive damage and Thermite Round for heat damage. This gives me the corrosive, viral, and heat combo. Now there is a reason why you can't normally get corrosive and viral, because it's the most devastating thing you can use versus heavily armored units like this Bombard over here. The corrosive damage will strip away his armor, the viral damage will cut his health in half, and then the combination of viral and heat damage will kill him really fast. It's also pretty good versus the infested, though the low tier units like crawlers and runners are resistant to viral damage. So personally, I use this setup versus the corrupted, the infested, and the grenade. Versus the corpus, I'm running this one, which is running high voltage and rime rounds for magnetic damage and malignant force with thermite rounds for gas damage. So I'm running gas, magnetic, and viral. Now the reason I'm running gas and magnetic together, which is something you wouldn't usually do because the toxin damage you get from gas bypasses shield, so you don't really need magnetic damage, is because of corpus robotics. At first, I was just running electric damage, which was great versus the fleshier units because it gave me a little bit of crowd control, but it was pretty bad versus bursas and other robotic units because they tend to have a lot of shields and they're not weak to toxin or viral damage. Now I can definitely say that this weapon is sortie viable because today's sorties were like the worst case scenario for this weapon. Sortie 2 was an infested sabotage that was mixed with corpus, and it was an Eximus stronghold. So you have an Eximus stronghold with 2 factions that are weak to different things, and I was able to get through that. And Sortie 3 was probably even worse because this weapon does raw elemental damage, and it was Void Assassination with enemy elemental enhancement, so they were resistant to all elemental damage. It did take quite a while to take for it down, but a lot of that was due to the enemy elemental enhancement, so I also did the mission with Synoid Simulator to kind of show you that even with the top tier weapon it still takes a while, and it even took quite a few magazines with the Tonkor. That's how tanky this bastard was. Now, I'm gonna be honest here, I think the mutagen sample requirement is incredibly dumb. And I think they did it because we don't really have a use for mutagen samples, so they wanted to give us something to sink those mutagen samples into. But this is not the way to do it. And the infuriating thing here is that they already did this better with the Saber or the Cyber. Do you remember the big frozen hammer? Yeah, that required a ton of cryotic to build. Not to research, just build. So people that stockpiled a lot of cryotic could just build the damn thing, and they didn't have to wait for 500 other players to farm the same amount of cryotic. I don't think the outcry would be anywhere near as bad if the weapon just required 500 mutagen samples to build. Not research, because expecting every single player in a clan to donate 500 mutagen samples, that's just stupid. I feel like this is punishing people that had the mutagen samples because they now have to wait for their entire clan to farm the same amount. And I mean, if you're a new player and you join a clan, how the hell are you supposed to put in 500 mutagen samples? I'm gonna give DE the benefit of the doubt here, because I don't think they did this to force people to buy platinum, which is what a lot of people are doing. They're either buying platinum and then buying the weapon, or farming stuff and then selling it for platinum. And I think it was just a boo-boo. They didn't think this through, but I might be wrong. Now, because of this issue, I am not going to give a recommendation for this weapon because it's just unobtainable for a lot of people. There aren't too many clans that manage to research it. For God's sake, my clan still needs like 120,000 mutagen samples to get it done. But then again, if you already sunk in those mutagen samples and your clan managed to get it researched, you might as well pick it up because it's a pretty damn good weapon. Viral damage when combined with corrosive damage or even gas damage is incredibly devastating. And if modded well, this weapon will take you through sorties. And that's pretty much it for the video, so I thank you very much for watching as always, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.